What's poppin', everyone? Glad y'all have been enjoying the recent Unova to the Top series. They've been super fun to make. Got more draft league content for you all today, even though I'm kind of on a downward tilt, having won the first 3 games and losing the last 2. It's still fun regardless, since I get to experiment with many different types of new sets. And today's week 6, I've prepared a pretty cool team versus my boy Nexus, who has a very strong looking squad. So plenty of scary things we got to deal with, right? Like Masquerada, Kirim, Jirachi, Enamorus, Ursaluna, and much more. His Tera captains are Galvantula and Toxicroak, which can be quite annoying, so we gotta watch out for them. And even Trapinch is a possibility because it can trap mons like Raging Bolt and Cleavor, I guess, if I'm locked into Stone Axe, so literally anything can show up. I decided to start off here with Flygon, not just any Flygon. I'm rocking the Choice Specs Tera Normal BOOMBURST FLYGON this week, so that's gonna be fun. And I mean, with a base 80 special attack, doesn't look that strong, right? It doesn't look strong at all, but it all kind of adds up. 140 base power BOOMBURST, Tera Normal, so it gives it stab, then a Choice Spec, so not a lot of great switch-ins to this mon. It 2 KOs most things on his team, except for the Jirachi, right? Jirachi is a really good check to BOOMBURST, probably the best thing he has for it, but it has to fear the Earth power. So yeah, a lot of mind games going on with this Flygon for this week, so I think it's going to be really effective in just clicking buttons and doing damage. I think the previous weeks that I lost, I was kind of more focused on tanking hits, and it didn't really work out. So I'm now, for this team, is mainly about, I mean, some of them tank hits, but also doing as much damage as possible. And that's what I'm here to try to do this week. Vacuum Wave, I actually discovered this mon has. I didn't even know Flygon had Vacuum Wave, but that could be really cool versus things like Masquerada. To pick off a weakened Masquerada, it does a lot. Or a weakened Kirim, I guess, could work too. But we are naturally faster, so it's mainly for like Choice Scarf mons or just faster mons in general. It's a good emergency move to have. Also, I guess, versus the Tera Dark Toxicroak, right? Tera Dark Toxicroak can out-prioritize the Sucker Punches with Vacuum Waves, and that could be kind of nice. Now, I have Cleavor, which I think Cleavor is really great. We could get a Stealth Rocks with Stone Axe pretty easily, or just U-turn around. And we're faster than his fastest Pokemon, which is Talonflame. I think that's going to be what we need to benchmark this thing for. So it'll outrun everything that's non-Choice Scarf and just click buttons. Defog, I think, is a good emergency move to have versus things like Stealth Rocks or maybe even Sticky Web if we need to defog, because we have the Weavile with Focus Sash. So Focus Sash Weavile is really solid, I think, in this matchup because, well, first of all, we're strong, right? Swords Dance, 3 attacks, it just looks really good versus Nexus team. And I mean, I have the speed set to Galvantula because we have Ice Shard to be faster than you know, the other Pokemon and do a lot of damage there. And yeah, nice 3 attacks, just a classic set in general that can set up pretty easily. The Sash is useful because maybe we can get additional Swords Dance off and just do more damage and be able to check things with the Sash, like something that's faster, like maybe a Shell Smash Blastoise, just be able to check that and get a big knockoff going into an Ice Shard, perhaps. Yeah, there's a lot of things that this thing can do. But yeah, then I have Annihilate. So Annihilate here because I think this mon is just a great answer to potentially the Ursaluna. It's a good switch into that mon because if they go for the Facade or go for a normal type attack, I can lock them into Encore. Or if they bulk up or Swords Dance, lock them into that move as well. And then, yeah, just Drain Punch, Rage Fist does a good amount of work, considerable amount of work versus his team. We can bulk up as well, so yeah, very bulky Pokemon that can sponge hits and do some good damage back. And I think this is a very essential mon. Rocky Helmet's also pretty useful too, just because it gets some chip here and there, puts things in range of other Pokemon, so yeah, that's always nice. And then, yeah, we have Empoleon here. So Empoleon, really solid for this week. So this was actually a set that I was kind of on the fence about. There was a couple sets that I wanted to run for this slot here in particular that I wasn't sure about, but Choice Scarf, I kind of leaned more towards that just because it's a nice way of being faster than non-Choice Scarf Kirims and Enamorus and stuff like that. So, and plus, if he sets himself, his Masquerada, to be faster than my Jumpluff, I guess, then I'll be faster than it with the Empoleon. So that's something to note there as well. And Emergency Yawn in case of trying to force something out like a Cosmic Power Jirachi and things like that could be useful. Then we have Mew, which is Iron Defense Body Press. I think this set is actually really good because the only thing that can kind of break a set like this is maybe, I guess, Flower Trick, but that's about it. Just to crit and go through it, but still, we can just Body Press for a lot of damage, like pretty much his entire team, right? Because he doesn't have a ghost type, so that's why I kind of opted for the Tera normal Boomburst route, and then also the Iron Defense Body Press route as well. And Psychic Noise is just a good kind of coverage, or I'm not really coverage, it's the main stab move. Body Press is what I'm going to be clicking most, but Psychic Noise is just there for Enamorous, for the Toxicroak when it's not a dark type or a steel type, and things like that. So this set here is really cool. I think it can put in a lot of work. Overall, yeah, I'm just going to see how this team does. It's a very offensive team, so it's going to require precision. So we'll see if we can do that with this one. But yeah, that's going to be this week's team. We'll see how it does in the battle that's going to start momentarily. So I'll see you all soon. Okay, we're here for our Week 6 battle. Need to win as soon as possible so we can secure playoffs. Haven't really been doing as well as I'd like for the last few weeks. Bit of misfortune and miscalculation, although I did win the first 3 weeks in a row, so at least I'm not doing terribly, but definitely struggling this season compared to others. Trying some new stuff for this week to see, you know, if a more offensive approach will be better. As you may have seen from the team builder, we got some heat sets. Taking on my bro Nexus. Gotta try and avenge Joey for what he did to him this season, and also need to avenge myself, as I think last time we played he caught me off guard with Endure Salic Berry Salamence. I know he likes to run berries on certain Pokemon and Scarf Mons, so gotta watch out for those. But yeah, I told him I'm searching, so let's see if we can find him and begin the battle. Hopefully we get a bit more fortunate this time. Would be nice. Would be very nice. Let's see what he brings. We found him. He's got, oh, oh, this one. I actually forgot this was on his team. I didn't even test versus Trapinch, just because I didn't think it was going to come, but I guess it makes sense because of Raging Bolt. But I didn't bring Raging Bolt, so the Mon is still annoying because I guess he could trap my Scarf Cleavor if I lock into Stone Axe. That could actually be kind of annoying now that I think about it. That could be kind of annoying. So I gotta think about this, because yeah, that could be a little scary. Okay, so I do think that maybe leading Cleavor is still the best play, or the best kind of lead for me, right? Because even if he leads like anything else and tries to go into Trapinch to trap me, I guess I could U-turn always. So U-turn always looks good, right? U-turn always looks good in any scenario because I don't get trapped and I also just get damage and I can go into like Annihilate or something. So I feel like this is the play. I don't think my Mirror Herb's gonna come into play this game unless Jirachi is some kind of setup set. I mainly had it for Blastoise, so I didn't get like swept by it. But Specs Flygon looks really good. Specs Flygon looks pretty nice. Alright, it's time to see if, once again, this is my first mistake. Just like the last 2 weeks, but we'll find out. Could be his. So it's gonna be the Meowscarada lead, so this is great. This is a literal free U-turn, I think. I don't want to Stone Axe here just in case. So if Trapinch comes out and it's like bulky a Violite, and it just sponges my Stone Axes, I think it just traps me, and I want to keep my Cleavor around for his team. Protect and Protean. Ooh. Can't say I've seen that one before. Very interesting. So I guess now, yeah, my U-turn's not going to be doing as much, but it'll still do a lot of damage if he wants to stay in. And I know he's not choice locked or choice scarf or anything like that, so this is a pretty free U-turn still. That 8. Rocky Helmet. Is that like a defensive Meowscarada? That's crazy. Wait. Rocky Helmet Meowscarada is very interesting. Very, very interesting. I assume he's going to try to get up a spike here. So I could probably defog later on. So yeah, there's a spike. And I guess here what I can do is just Drain Punch pretty safely. So looking at his team, I guess the best switch into this move would be probably the Galvantula, but I'm really bulky, so Galvantula would come in, or it could be Jirachi. One of those two comes in, and if they fire off an attack, I live and I can just Rage Fist to knock him out. So it's gonna be the Galvantula. Okay, that's fine. So I should live any attack from this. I know this is his Tera Captain. And I kind of just want to... So I could go hard Cleavor, and by going hard Cleavor, this will allow me to get off a Defog, which could be really nice, right? Getting off a Defog could actually be really nice to preserve the sash on my Weavile. But then if I go into that and a Defog, he gets a free attack, and I probably lose my Cleavor if he decides to Tera. Not Tera, just go for like a strong attack. Maybe just Rage Fisting is the play. Just take the hit and then... Or just do damage to this thing. I can always just defog on mons like the Ursaluna or the Trapinch. Like I have ways of being faster than certain members of his team, so... And I think also Meowscarada is defensive, so it's pretty weak. Probably can't knock out my Cleavor anyways. I think I can just Rage Fist again, because I would assume he Terras and goes for like a Tera Fairy attack. Tera Electric, oh. I expected Tera Fairy in this matchup, but Electric's cool. I guess, yeah, that kind of makes sense if he's running Tera Electric because he has the Trapinch. And because he has the Trapinch, he can always trap Raging Bolt. If I had it. I didn't bring Raging Bolt to this matchup just because I didn't think it was great. He has too many mons good against it, like Enamorus, Meowscarada, Kyurem, and I guess Trapinch too. I guess I would have to run Shed Shell, but yeah, then I can't resist other attacks with my AV Sponge. But yeah, we get rid of Galvantula, which is great. So that's one mon that's like, that was faster than Flygon. Now I think that aside from Meowscarada, which is defensive, every mon gets outrun by Flygon. So that should be pretty good. Question is, who does he go into now? So I assume Jirachi comes in. I guess Kyurem can also come in too if it's more offensive. If he wants to pick this thing off depending on the set. So if he's running webs plus spikes, could be... I don't know what kind of Kyurem it would be. So he goes into it here. I'm gonna Drain Punch. Last time I switched out of a threat, I got swept. I don't think Kyurem could sweep me, but I don't know. I've run into some pretty crazy sets before. So I'll just stay in. So he goes for Shadow Ball here, so I guess this is pretty good. Yeah, it does pick me off. Okay. So Shadow Ball Kyurem is interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so I guess now I'm pretty free to go into Flygon. I don't think he can knock me out with anything. Right? I think I can go Flygon here. And just fire off a Tera Normal Boomburst. Seems like the play. Seems pretty good. Switches out, okay. Goes into Ursaluna. Ooh, this is gonna do a lot of damage. This is gonna do some pretty crazy damage here. Unless he's like AV or something, which I'm pretty sure it will still 2-hit KO, if I'm not mistaken. Boomburst. Ooh, almost dead. Almost dead. Not bad. This is a pretty evil set. Like this set here, actually, he only has one switch in Jirachi. This mon otherwise just claims knockouts after knockout. That is pretty cool. So he switches out here. So he has to go probably Jirachi to Sponge. No, it's a Meowscarada. Oh, Meowscarada gets sacked here. Nice. So that means that Flygon is always going to be faster than everything now. Flygon will always be faster than all the Mons. This is cool. Jirachi comes in. Okay, cool. So, versus Jirachi, this Mon can be very unpredictable, very scary. I do think Empoleon's a great switch-in. I do get the competitive boost as well. Now, Empoleon, of course, it won't be fast due to the speed drop from webs, but I do get the boost from competitive, so I'm becoming stronger now. Nice boost. Goes for Drain Punch. Okay, cool. I faced a set like this as well. Like a Drain Punch Iron Head set while testing. A Surf here should be good. I am out of range of a Drain Punch, so I get a lot of damage here. Emvee to tank. Yep, perfect. Big damage. So this is great because he's in range of Earth Power from Flygon. Yeah, Flygon is going to be great to come pick this thing off. Even if he wins the speed tie, I still knock it out, so that's perfectly fine. Like, even if he wins, I still knock it out. Yeah, so let me just double check the calc. Drain Punch to my Tera normal Flygon if he's max attack. And so we saw the damage on Empoleon. Probably suggests that it definitely has, I think it definitely has attack investment. I think it does. Maybe not full. Maybe not much. Yeah, interesting. So I do think that Flygon is still the play now that I'm looking at it. I could go Cleavor, but then I get Iron Head Flinch. I could go Mew, but I could get Iron Head Flinch. I could go Weavile, but I could get Iron Head Flinch. So no, I have to go Flygon. So Flygon here. And he might not even be max speed because he's running webs, right? He could be adamant, or he could be yeah, he might not even need to run max speed, so there's always that option. There is always that option. So hopefully we can knock out Jirachi here, and then it would make the game a lot easier because he'd only have the Kyurem, almost dead Ursaluna, and Trapinch. Trapinch still have to watch out for because that Pokemon can trap stuff, except it can't trap my Flygon. Ooh, Shucka Berry. Shucka Berry's interesting. We still knock it out though, of course, because we are Choice Specs. But that is interesting. But yeah, knocking out this is great. So I guess here he's forced to go into probably Kyurem. He's probably going to go Kyurem here, and but I don't know if he can knock me out with anything. Although I probably, yeah, I guess he could knock me out with Draco, right? Draco Meteor would probably knock out Flygon, depending on his set. But yeah, Ursaluna and Trapinch don't make sense to come out here, so it has to be Kyurem, I think. It has to be Kyurem. And so then I have to think about what to sack. I have to think about what to sack here, because I think versus the last 3 Mons, probably it's not good for me to, I don't know if it's good for me to save Cleavor or Mew. I think Mew can actually sponge stuff. Mew actually can be really good. So he does go Kyurem. I think I want to go Cleavor. I definitely want Weavile for the Ice Shard. I think Ice Shard, and plus, I mean, Weavile outruns, even at -1 speed, outruns the Ursaluna and the Trapinch. So I do think that going Cleavor is my best play, even though I don't get the Defog. I do think it's better just because Mew has the bulk to survive, and I think it's better. Because if I sack Cleavor and then I go Mew and then I body press, I knock out, or I get some chip on Kyurem, which allows me to win with Flygon. I think is my play. So I believe this is the play. Focus Blast. And he hits the Focus Blast too. That's crazy. I do live though, which is nice. So he has to hit another one if he's locked in, apparently. I don't know if he's locked in or not. Doesn't look like he's locked in. No, he is not locked in. So I wonder what item this Kyurem is, because looking at the calc, it doesn't seem like a boosting item. Looking at the calc, right? Yeah, I don't know what item it is. It could be boots. It could be like Jirachi and have a resist berry, like maybe Haban for Raging Bolts, so that it can actually sponge Dracos and stuff, which would be really annoying. But I think going Mew first is the play, right? Because my Weavile's slower, and I don't have my Sash intact. So I do think this is still great because we can go Mew, and I don't think I Iron Defense just because I want damage on Kyurem. And I don't know if he switches or not. We get hurt by spikes, unfortunately. Yeah, because if he has Ice or Draco Meteor, I think that would be really bad. So we have to body press here, I think. Yeah, because we don't want to get, or I guess Shadow Ball. Yeah, he does have Shadow Ball as well, right? So Shadow Ball does a lot. We should just body press here. So yeah, I need a little chip on this thing in order for us to guarantee the win. So he switches out. Okay, cool. Who does he go into? Okay, sacks the Ursaluna. That's always nice. We knock out Ursaluna. So he's got Trapinch and Kyurem left. Okay. Very cool, very cool. So he's definitely going Trapinch here, right? Probably not back into Kyurem, otherwise it'd be the same story again. Yeah, it's gonna be Trapinch. I'm not sure what this does. I'm really not sure what this does, but let me look at its move pool. Okay, so obviously Earthquake. It might have First Impression. But, I mean, it doesn't seem like it does much. Doesn't seem like it does too much. Unless it's like, I don't know, Choice Banded, base 100 attack does seem kind of strong. Or if it's a Violite, then I could just Iron Defense up. Or he might not even be First Impression. I might be overthinking it. Okay, it is, so that does a lot. That does a lot. But yeah, now, I think that does seem like Choice Band. It does seem like it. Destroyed, cool. Trapinch has pretty bad defenses, I think. Goes into Kyurem. And so here... See, I don't know if he's like I don't know what item he is. That does knock me out, but that's fine. It's hard to tell what item this is. Is it better to go Weavile first or Flygon? So for him, he needs to hit... So he already hit 1 Focus Blast. He needs to hit 2 more Focus Blasts in a row to even have a chance of winning this game. Because if he... Because yeah, like, we know he's not locked in, right? If he's Habanberry... The Draco Meteor would do less than Boomburst, but... Because I have to like Boomburst into Ice Shard. Or if Draco misses, then I lose because I don't get enough damage on it, and then Weavile probably can't take it out 1v1. I guess I go Weavile, or I guess I go Flygon first. Flygon first here, I think, is the play. Kyurem's a tough mon because I feel like the better chance, because I'm looking at the calc right now, right? I feel like the better chance is going for Boomburst into sharding with Weavile, because I do feel like he has to, I mean, part of me wants to Draco, but part of me feels like that might not be the play if I'm expecting Habanberry, because I feel like that's such an obvious item on this mon to run, because I saw him switch up moves. And his Meowscarada was the lead, which probably may or may not have had Taunt, I'm not sure, to stop rocks. So I don't know if it's Boots or if it's something else like Haban for the Raging Bolt, for the Flygon, for stuff like that. I'm confused. I really don't know which move is the right move, but I do see a roll that I can knock this out with Boomburst plus Ice Shard, because Adamant Ice Shard plus Boomburst, the rolls actually potentially knock it out. And then he has to hit 2 Focus Blasts to win anyways, so I mean that itself is total 3. Yeah, that's pretty close. Pretty close. He hits 1. Okay. This is kind of getting worrisome. Alright, Weavile. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, Weavile. Please, you've already let me down before. Don't let me down again. We have our speed lowered, so unfortunately he's faster. Unfortunately he's faster. Ooh! Yeah, stupid idiot Kyurem. Of course, of course. Hits another Focus Blast in a row. Of course. Yeah, and the curse continues. Elmaster Emvee has returned once again. We went 3 wins in a row, and now 3 losses in a row. It can only go up from here though, right? Yeah. Only time will tell. I'm kind of sad. It feels like I'm getting everything wrong, but still a fun game. You know, Tera normal Flygon was really cool to see put in work. A lot of work, actually. And him hitting all his Focus Blasts, but I think about... Hit it on Cleavor, Flygon, Weavile. 34% chance, you know? That's always nice. That's always great. If you missed one, I won on the spot. Either versus Cleavor, which would allow me to defog and win, or Flygon, allow me to Boomburst and win, or Weavile, which would allow me to pick off Kyurem and win. Tried to play the odds based on the knowledge I had, and the unfortunate scenario was the odds were against me. Maybe I should have just clicked Draco and not overthought the item, but literally if he was Habanberry or I missed, I lost. My best chance was to either get the Boomburst Ice Shard roll or for him to miss one of his 3 Focus Blasts. He still brought a cool team though, can't be mad. Subscribe to Nexus, great friend of mine, but more importantly, subscribe to myself to find out what happens to me. Peace.